Hello, my lovely friends. Today I am talking to you with the window open, enjoying the beautiful summer sun and the sound of birds chirping. It's an absolutely beautiful day today. And I think it's the perfect setting to be gentle with ourselves. In today's sing along story time, I want to take some time to acknowledge that no matter what age we are, there is an inner child within all of us. And I think it's impossible for anyone to go through life and not have some pain, not through necessarily anyone's fault, even in situations where we are not physically or sexually abused. I think that life can be just so trying many times that we are just naturally hurt. That's part of life. And we develop these defense mechanisms for protecting ourselves, and we learn how to survive and hopefully thrive the more that we heal in life. But sometimes we have our development arrested to the point that part of us is still hurting, and we are, in a way, depending on the context, depending on the scenario. In our jobs, for example, we might be a go-getter, type A, high achiever, high performer. We might have been promoted. We might have done so many things, accomplished so many great feats in our professional life, but perhaps privately we are codependent and we care too much about what other people think or what other people might say, perhaps from childhood. And in that regard, we might be more like a teenager or more like a young adult, or perhaps even more like an adolescent or a very young child in those kind of contexts where, for example, if we were bullied when we were younger. All of those things influence where we are in our development. And today, I would like to open up a little bit more about my own personal journey of healing. This definitely goes out to anyone else who considers themselves a recovering perfectionist like I do. I like to call myself that because I'm not 100% stuck in that mindset anymore, but I was definitely raised with a fixed mindset, and I've worked very hard to develop a growth mindset. I think it's made a massive difference in my life, and I think that it is extremely important to raise my two young kids with a growth mindset. And I know exactly where this perfectionism stems from, and it stems from my childhood. I remember being very young and just having like this really open-minded joy for life, a zest for life, feeling like any dream is possible. And then slowly, the older I got, the higher in grades I got, the more academic pressure was placed on me. And I remember specifically in high school, it was the worst time because during that time, everyone is applying for colleges. And at least growing up I was born and raised in the United States, but I am also the child of Asian immigrants who've been here for many, many decades. And I also come from a long line of doctors. And there was a very strong expectation that you have to pick a profession that is like a doctor, an attorney, which is what I eventually became, an engineer. These things that stereotypical society see as successful careers. While I was able to do creative writing and things like that growing up, it wasn't necessarily conveyed to me that it was a sustainable career path. I also absolutely loved art and music. And these are things that were more encouraged, like those are great extracurriculars for your resume to get into college. But what is the expectation down the road? That you pursue, a very stable job that is very well respected and earns you a lot of income. This was not done in a hurtful way, like parents wanting that for their children. Absolutely makes sense. And as a parent myself, I 100% empathize with why parents would want that for their children. No parent wants their child to struggle and suffer. And it makes sense if you have natural proclivities, you can do those careers and they are prestigious and they do earn a lot of money, and you won't have to worry about where your next meal will come from. Those are obviously very secure paths, and it makes sense that parents would want that for their children. But I think that one of the things that I internalized was my love for those more creative paths. It made me somehow less than. It made me not good enough. And I don't think that that's healthy. I think that that is really harmful. And so, one of the things that I want as a parent for my own children is to teach them the concept of and, A-N-D. There need not be an or, an O-R. We do not have to compartmentalize ourselves and deny whole, entire aspects of who we are. We ought to be encouraged to embrace every aspect of ourselves. And if something, anything matters to you, to nurture it and to never let it go. And to always build a schedule that allows you to ensure that those areas of yourself be maintained, honored, and respected. And I am really passionate about teaching my children that if you love something, you find a way to make it work. And I think this is an opportune time for them to learn that lesson because, as we all know, the job market is harder and harder. There is no such thing as 100% job security anymore. And especially with the development of AI, I mean, so many jobs are going to not necessarily be eradicated, but you cannot always assume that you are going to not be outsourced to AI. Nobody knows down the path what will happen for sure for any given career path. But one thing is for certain, I think a huge part of humanity is creativity. And that is the number one thing that distinguishes us from a machine. It's the number one thing that gives us a sense of purpose and just awesome opportunities for personal growth. Whether or not we make money from creative pursuits is not as important as what it does to fulfill us and make us happier in life. And these are lessons that I have learned through so much pain and inner strife. I denied so much of my creative self over the years so that I could do what was expected of me, so that I could put other people's expectations above my own. Being a strong writer and being able to learn the skills of oral advocacy and help other people has brought me tremendous joy in my life. But at the same time, what happened to the inner child? The part of me that loved creative writing, the part that me that loved poetry, the part that me that loved to create art, traditional and digital. What happened to her? What happened to the music that I loved? All of those things fell by the wayside. And I think that was the number one mistake I made in my life. And I tried to give myself grace that I didn't know better, that I thought I was doing the best that I could, meeting these expectations. But over time, I just noticed I don't feel whole. And I am thankful for my suffering in that regard because I have a very strong purpose now to help myself to heal and be whole. And it is really important to me. Like, part of the reason why I take the time to do my Victus Mindset and Meditation newsletter, Synergy of Science and Self, is so that I can learn the best ways that I can find wherever the source, wherever the expert, to think, do, and be my way to living as my true, authentic self, to not deny any aspect of who I am, and to hopefully meet others who want to be on the same journey. Because we all deserve to be happy. We all deserve to be whole. And I really strongly believe that we would not have a world that is so hurt and so in need of significant healing if all of us were happier and more fulfilled. When we are happy, we don't feel the urge to take from others, to harm others. Only hurt people hurt people. And people who give love and receive love know how to heal the best, the most. And what can we do on a local level to heal? We can help heal ourselves and we can help heal others. And I would feel such a great sense of fulfillment, like my life meant something, like all of my suffering meant something, if I could just help just a few people to feel a little bit less suffering and to not make the mistake that I did, which is to fracture my very self. It is my hope that I help my children to avoid that fate, and it is my dream to help others to feel that they have the right to want what they want in life as long as you're not hurting someone else. Why not reach for what makes you whole and pursue that wholeheartedly in community with other people who feel the same? So, in that spirit, I would like us to close our eyes. That's what I invite us to do. That's what I'm doing as I listen to the beautiful birds outside and the wind rustling the leaves. I want to sing to soothe our inner child. A song written by Alanis Morissette. And I absolutely love her as a singer and songwriter. I think she has this amazing combination of authenticity, fearlessness to share what she truly believes and feels, and a fierceness, a self-protectiveness that we could all embrace to love every aspect of ourselves, especially our inner child, as you will see in this song. And if you look at her other songs, there's also a ferocity to her voice and her singing, as everyone knows. She's famous for her Jagged Little Pill album. This song means a lot to me, and I hope that you can sing along and gain some peace. This song is called Perfect. For all my fellow recovering perfectionists, let us heal.
Sometimes it's never quite enough. If you're flawless, then you win my love. Don't forget to win first place. Don't forget to keep that smile on your face. Be a good boy. Try a little harder. You've got to measure up. Make me prouder. How long before you screw it up? How many times do I have to tell you to hurry up? With everything I do for you, the least you can do is keep quiet. Be a good girl. You gotta try a little harder. That simply wasn't good enough to make us proud. I'll live through you, I'll make you what I never was. If you're the best, then maybe so am I. Compared to him, compared to her, I'm doing this for your own damn good. You'll make up for what I blew. What's the problem? Why are you crying? Be a good boy. Push a little farther now. That wasn't fast enough to make us happy. We'll love you just the way you are. If you're perfect.
Now, I would like to take a moment, now that the song is done, to help us to heal and realize that we all have that inner child within us, and it's never too late to help our inner child heal. We are older now, we are wiser now, and we can reparent ourselves and give us the love, nurturing, attention, and validation that we seek, that we will always seek. We can be there for each other in community, and I hope that this song allowed you to feel heard and seen and cherished, because I see the inner child in me, and the inner child in me honors and respects the inner child in each of you. Blessings to all.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel, and also sign up for my free newsletter, Victus, Mindset and Meditation, Synergy of Science and Self, and marissavictus.substack.com. Until next time, friends, have a great day.